Hey Chuck, it's Phil here. I'm going to make you a quick video here because some of my technology is not functioning properly, so I'm just going to send you a straight up one. So, welcome to standing. So, after doing the Spinal Intelligence Floor Fundamentals course, it's then starting to figure out how to do this stuff standing. Okay, so today this video is all about finding neutral, right? Finding center, and also just sort of working again at articulating the spine. So again, we're going to move one vertebra at a time. And this is just all about centering yourself from a standing standpoint. So in the game of golf, you're not necessarily going to be like this, but there definitely is going to be a little bit of a sort of a hinge here that happens too. Okay. So, but for today, we're kind of going to start being more neutral. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through this step by step. And then you can play this back in your own ears and give it a try. So from time to time, I'll pivot and turn sideways like this so you can get an idea of what's happening from a side perspective, because I know you prefer these videos, which is great. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with our feet hip distance apart. Okay, so I don't know your golf swing. I haven't necessarily seen your golf swing, but you may have a little bit more space with your golf swing. I have no idea. It certainly opens up your hips a little bit more, but for this particular preparation exercise or movement and exploration is having equal weight through both feet. Okay, so start by putting both feet equally on the ground. And the question might be, Phil, how do I know that? Okay, and so let's play with that in the beginning. Okay, so let's slowly come out onto our toes and then back to center, and then slowly back onto our heels and back to center. Do that a couple times. So then this gives you a sense of we're forward here. Exhale back to center. Inhale back to the heels. And back to center. Again, one more time. Inhale out on the toes. I still have my feet flat on the ground though. Back to center. Returning back to the heels. And back to center. So that gives you a sense of what's happening forward and backwards, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're just going to load one leg. So again, loading one leg, back to center. Load the other leg, back to center. Inhale, load the other leg, back to center. Exhale. Inhale, load the other leg. Exhale. Back to center. So do that as many times to give you a sense of what's happening sort of at all four corners of your feet. And that, again, you're just looking to find that centerpiece, equal weight through both feet. All right? Now, from this position, as you have both feet equally, I want to encourage you to soften your knees. So let your knees soften a little bit. I'm going to turn the side so you can kind of see my knees. So the key is to not lock the knees out. You see, when you lock the knees out, it kind of throws your pelvis forward, okay? So you would never do this in the game of golf or in life. So you always want to make sure that there's a nice softness in your knee. So then there's no damming happening, so you're allowing the energy to come up through the body, okay? Because in the game of golf, as you know, the power comes from the ground, all right? And so equal weight through both feet, knees are soft. Take a deep breath. Just notice that. We're going to keep coming back to the knees because you're going to notice that you're probably going to come back and lock them out, especially if you have hip problems, okay? So now, here on our pelvis, we're going to do a couple things. We're going to tuck our tail underneath. Notice how that sort of flattens out my low back and makes it feel uncomfortable, okay? And then I'm also going to increase that curve. Notice what happens here. It increases the lumbar curve, it creates a jamming. So ideally, just like when we were laying on the floor, you want your tail kind of pointing down towards the floor. So again, you're doing this, and then find something in between, and then bend your knees again and breathe. Okay, so from here down, you should feel relatively engaged. You should feel these muscles engage, and you should feel these muscles engage. You'll find that these muscles will engage further the more you hinge forward. But for right now, we're trying to find neutral in our spine. So again, tucking your tail between your legs, taking the opposite direction, find something in between, rebend your knees equal way through both feet. So give that a try. Now, the next piece is what's happening with your shoulder blades. So I would encourage you in the beginning to place one hand on your low ribs and one hand on your belly. This is going to give you a sense of what's happening with your thoracic spine and your diaphragm, because the tendency is for a lot of people to either do this or they tend to do this too much. And again, we're trying to find neutral here. So there should always be a little bit of tone in your belly. So I'm always thinking about drawing my belly button up and in and trying to create a connection between the front and the back and the sides and up and down. You can't overcorrect. You don't want to draw your belly button in like you're sucking your belly in. No, it's more like just creating a little bit of tone and a little bit of awareness in your organs, okay? All right, and now in this position, what I want you to think about doing is just taking your hands away once you get that settled. So again, back to equal weight through both feet. Knees are soft. Pelvis is in a relaxed, neutral position, okay? This part of you goes down. This is the part of you that's the root vegetable that's in the ground, okay? The rest of this, our spine, is generally designed to get a little bit longer. So then eventually, once it gets nice and long, it'll allow for rotation. You won't feel any jamming can happen if your posture is not great, okay? So from this position, I want you to just put your hands in front of you like this, okay? And think about sliding your shoulder blades down and back, okay? And I want to show you the difference. So you see how my elbows are in close to my body, so I'm slightly drawing my elbows in. I'm drawing my shoulder blades down and back. I am not doing this. I am not like pulling them back like this. You see how this pops out when I do that? So this is not like Kung Fu class. This is more just like draw the elbows in, snug the shoulder blades up on your backside, and just create a connection there, okay? And if you have to come back here from time to time just to check in to see what's happening here, making sure that this is contained, then by all means keep coming back. But slide the shoulder blades into the back pocket and take a nice big deep breath. Now we got equal weight through both feet. We have our knees soft. We have our pelvis in a neutral position. We have a little bit of tone in our low belly. We created a bit of a connection with our shoulder blades down and back. And notice how now your head is nicely balanced over top of your heart, okay? So notice that I'm looking at the horizon. I'm not looking over the horizon. I'm not looking under the horizon. I'm looking at the horizon, okay? That's going to maintain a nice curve in your cervical spine here, okay? And breathe. Now, keep doing that. You keep doing that. I'm going to turn back and pivot. I'm going to show you again from the front. So again, see me, I go from side to side, find something in the center. I go forward and backwards, I find something in the center. I bend my knees deeply, I lock my knees out, I unlock my knees and I soften them. Same with the pelvis, tip it underneath, tip it back, find find something in the center. Same with the shoulder blades. Draw them back, let them collapse forward, find something in the center. Head again, either looking over the horizon, below the horizon, or even with the horizon. Okay? So this is the space that you want to find. Now once you find that, take your hands away if you want. Just let them come down to your side. Keep that engagement with your shoulder blades. Either lower your gaze or close your eyes. The rest of this standing meditation is going to be done with your eyes closed. So close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. So this is a standing meditation that I do every morning. It gets me fired up. At this particular point, you should feel a little bit of burning in your quads. You should feel a little bit of engagement through your glutes, okay? Because your knees are unlocked, okay? And that there's some softness that happens in your pelvis, okay? So keep playing with this standing, right? So again, you're just playing with the curves of your spine. Because eventually, once we get to strengthening or to our golf swing, notice how nothing's going to change for me, okay? So here's me holding my club, right? Notice how nothing's going to change for me except for my hip hinge. So as I play the game of golf, notice how this is happening. This is all that's happening. And all I feel is I feel a little bit more engagement through my belly and through my core when I do that. Because now I'm bringing my center of gravity forward. But for right now, you're going to just feel a little bit of tone in your belly because now you're going to be more upright. I just want you to get used to the upright. Get used to the neutral. Keep breathing, keep softening, keep relaxing into as much of neutral as possible. Because from neutral, again, this is how we're going to strengthen our spine. So stand in this position. Do it for 2 or 3 minutes at a time. So you're really firing your legs up, really firing your quads and firing your glutes. Not overfiring them, right? Not squeezing too hard, but just kind of getting used to finding that center point in a standing position. Okay, so I hope you find that helpful. And I'll send this over to you as I continue to figure out my pieces of technology, okay? Hope you're having a fantastic day. If you have any questions about this, Chuck, just reach out, okay? Thanks. Have a great day.